Okay, we're going to talk about Dwarven Realms. This was a really fun game that I played recently. Now, I know you're going to look at this and immediately probably say PS1 wants their graphics back. That'd be a fair and medium response. But I'm going to talk to you about why I actually liked this game and why that maybe you want to give it a shot. First of all, it's $5 on Steam, so it is a reasonable price. Second of all, it's an indie game. It's actually only made by a pair of twin brothers. Identical twins that are longtime viewers of Zizerance and apparently part of the Path of Exile community that have been around for a while, and they decided they wanted to make a passion project in the game. Another reason you might enjoy this, it is sort of a mix of ARPG meets Survivor-like style of game. So if you're familiar with games like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I actually made a review on, or if you're familiar with games like Vampire Survivors, you're going to know this. It has similar elements of them sending just a ton of minions at you, and you get the cool ragdoll effect of launching them back and all of that, and you're sort of trying to survive as long as you can. The game also has ARPG elements. There is no campaign, but immediately when you start the game, you're going to go into like what is equivalently greater rifts. You're going to do like Rupture 1. You're going to beat as many of these guys as you can, and then you're going to fight a boss. Rupture 2, which is the next level up, and every time you go through it, you're unlocking rewards, you're unlocking gear, new weapons, etc. Weapons are a cool part about the game. What you actually have for offense is changed based upon what weapon you have is the way they do it. So if you have a bow, for instance, you're going to have bow rain down from attack type of attacks. You're going to have a sort of like explosive arrow, etc. If you have a wand, you're going to notice I'm shooting with a wand here. You're going to have like these explosive orbs you send, etc. But there's also modifiers that you get while you're playing the game that will change what abilities you have. And here's a good example. So if I pause right here on this is stream footage I can show you because my character died. I was playing hardcore, for instance. You're going to notice I have these items down here. So the goblet is basically making it where these electric dogs get summoned around me and attack things close. The other goblet is making it where or the horn there is when I hit somebody, it makes electricity sort of come from the sky and hit them, etc. So there are these variants that you can get in terms of your skills, sort of like these other Survivor-like games. As you level up, you're kind of upgrading and choosing your weapons. So that is something of a similar mechanic that happens here. And after you fight the boss, you're actually going to get crafting recipes, because what is surprising in the game is not only do you have a variety of weapons to choose from, there's electric dogs, for instance, do you have a variety of like these bonus skills you get, but there's also crafting, there's also itemization. When you saw the menu, you saw all the items my character was wearing. There's also, this right here is a good example, there's also masteries for your weapons. So you can see there is spears, mauls, staves, two-handed, one-handed archery, magery, and then even crafting. So as you have experience in each of these, you're actually leveling up and getting different passives. For instance, I was trying to level the mage one all the way up to this one, which is blood magic, and was sort of double, the amount of cast I'm doing, allow me to get it while moving, etc. And crafting will allow me to be able to craft and slam better stats and stats onto gear. So there is some more depth into it other than just shoot things with a bow and level up. You actually have a town that you go into in between each one of these ruptures that levels up with you as you go to the higher and higher ruptures, or greater rifts, basically, and that allows you to progress further into things like crafting. So this is what it's going to look like when you start the game. You're going to go, this is the level 1 rupture, and they're already going to send at you a ton of minions, and it's going to sort of remind you of maybe some old school arcade games where you're going to hack and slash and ragdoll physic your way through these minions, and you're going to be leveling up while you do it. Now, when you do level up, you're going to have stat points. So you have strength, agility, stamina, endurance, luck, dexterity, and it will actually tell you what each one of these stats are going to accomplish for you. For instance, wisdom increases how much experience I gain from things, where strength is going to give me damage and armor across the board. Now I'm just going to take wisdom in the beginning. That way I level up quicker from the start, since I'm literally level 2. And then you're going to notice in the top left there is a time, and that is the yellow bar. When the yellow bar goes down, the rupture is over. And in the meantime, what I'm trying to do is get enough of the essences here to be able to open the path to the next boss. I'm going to go to the next boss. I'm going to get a reward, and this reward is sort of this Survivor-like element where I get to pick one of 3 different things. So I get to either summon a circle blade that circles around me, I get to do a chance for electric dragons to go around me, or a burning shield. Now I actually like the circle blade, so I'm going to take the circle blade. And then since this is Rupture 1, the very first one, it's quite easy. This is like a tutorial boss, but you're going to then fight a boss sort of at the end, and just one's going to teach me don't stand in the giant red circles, and it's going to get harder and harder as you go. And now you're going to notice I have this blade that goes around me, and that is because that is the ability that I picked to start. You're also going to notice if you have sharp eyes there in the bottom left, there is a K button that is also circling right now. That is because I have a skill tree. And I have points to spend on the skill tree. And as you look at the skill tree, there's going to be a lot of increase in HP, damage. There's going to be know the bow nodes, etc. So this is sort of where your ARPG element style is going to come into play if you're familiar with those games. The gameplay of when you're fighting in the ruptures feels to me like Survivor, but then the building of the character feels like ARPG. So I'm going to go down here and take life and damage, and I'm going to head this way so that I can eventually get this grand vitality and increase my life by 20%. So just like that, I've gotten a little bit stronger. The boss is dead. I can pick up the rupture loot and pick that up, and I got actually a couple new weapons. So I have a great axe, and the different weapons are going to change what kind of attacks I am doing, as well as what skills I will unlock. At the end of these also, there's recipes, and I can unlock the recipe with the key I get from the boss, which is going to teach me how to craft a new piece of gear. And when I go back to town here, you're going to notice there's a furnace in which I can craft these iron pieces, and then I can also make a rope glove if I mine enough of the iron while I'm out there. So you can see there's a little bit more depth than just hack and slash in there. There's some crafting. The other part that's interesting about it is there is actually skills that you can level as well. So like I was mentioning, the spears, the staves, the one-handed, two-handed magery, all that. But if you go to crafting here, you get the ability to craft exceptionally powerful artifacts and gain the ability to craft incredible modifiers. So you actually are leveling up your crafting as well as you start to craft more and more gear, which gives you the ability to go from just crafting like the normal gear to like legendary gear, etc., etc. So there is a reason to actually continue to craft the gear other than just getting stronger. You are leveling up your skill with that crafting. There's a stash where you can store things if you feel the need to. So that way, if you decide that you want to go pick up more loot and just sit around forever, because in some of these ruptures, you can really sit there for quite a long time if you just want to farm. You can see level 1's done, so now I can go to level 2. And I'm going to show you what happens. Like I'm going to pick, let's go back to the one-handed here. Oh, here's another power-up that we get. You get a dragon, and what the dragon actually does is he's going to leave green circles on the ground that I can walk in that will heal me, as well as give me basically the equivalent of mana or energy, I think is what it's called in this game. Now, as I level my mace, and I'm going to run around here, try to summon more mobs. As I level my mace, I'm eventually going to unlock a new skill for my mace as well. So there we go, new skill upgrade. So now I have a new ability, which is the Q button, and this Q button allows me to do a combo going into it. So that's basically what happens, and there's what the dragon does. He leaves me the green things on the ground. So as you can see, the game for me feels like a $5 arcade game where you're going to go in, smash through, see how far you can place on the leaderboard, maybe enjoy the crafting, support an indie dev for $5, mess around with the skill tree. So there I got my grand vitality up there. So I was sponsored for 2 hours to play this, and I ended up actually playing this 6 hours because I was surprised how much I got roped into it. And they're very aware of their game, actually. In fact, I'm going to show you. I'll quit out the game and show you what happens when you launch the game. They have a disclaimer. Dwarven Realms is an indie passion project developed by two brothers with the aim of creating something unique in the ARPG landscape. Currently in very early development, we strongly believe that involving the community at such an early stage will result in an incredible experience. This might not be for everyone. If you are seeking a more stable, polished experience, we recommend checking back once the game is out of early access. If you wish to join development, require assistance, want to report a bug, or offer suggestions, you are welcome to join our community Discord. I also thought this was cool because it's made by two brothers. They're like pretty willing to just like directly talk to you as a streamer. And so they gave a lot of the different streamers here like a cool mount code that they can share with the community. Like there's Steel Mage. Steel Mage has got one. He's got like a giant crab thing. There's Zizaran. He's got like a blue well. They got all these different ones in here. They actually put mine in here as well. There's a orange shark that you can get. And all of these are free. You just need the code for each of the streamers. You go here and you can claim the reward, etc. So I thought that was pretty cool addition to it as well. So you can log into the game. It's $5. You get kind of a fun Survivor ARPG game. You get a couple free mounts from whoever your favorite streamer is. You see if you can beat them on the leaderboard, and that's pretty much the experience. And you help out an indie dev that's part of the community. For me, Oh, way too zoomed in. Okay. For me, I know some people will look at this and say that it looks like an outdated game or something. For me, what I see is a cool indie passion project that's a very reasonable price that was actually more fun than I thought it was going to be by looking at it, with two dudes that seem like just normal guys out there trying to make a game. I liked it, thought it was cool. They sponsored me. I played it more than I had to because I liked it. If you want to check out the game, I'm going to have the link down below. I really honestly hope the game does well for them, because not only do they seem like funny dudes, I thought it was hilarious. They told me not to put it in the video, but they were giving each other shit in the live stream, like, he's the one who puts all the bad things in the game and I'm the one who does all the good stuff. I thought that was hilarious and reminded me of my own brother a little bit, where we constantly give each other shit. And the game is actually fun. It's surprisingly fun for $5, but I'm also a sucker for these survivor-like games. And I only got to like level 50 or something because I was playing hardcore and died. That's why I had to make a new character to show you guys. But it was actually getting fairly in depth. Like, there's different levels of crafting to it. Your kingdom here actually expands. Let me show you. Your kingdom actually ends up expanding as you level throughout the rupture. So you get access to more and more and more things. And then, like, you get crafting at first. It's not just these items. Like, you get all these dudes that go here and you can upgrade everything. You can upgrade the main tree. This wall gets pushed back and opens up to a whole village. I won't spoil everything, but basically your world evolves. You can even see some of the village over there they got back there. Your world basically evolves around you as you go farther into the ruptures and make your character better and better and all that too. So it has a surprising amount of depth for a $5 game. That's about it. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the game if you do try it out. And I hope that they have a success, because the game actually is like fairly fun and very accurately priced. And they're very aware that it's an early access game and it's not a big AAA company or anything like that. So I was happy to be able to do a video for them on this one. That's about it. Love you all. And I'll see you on the live streams.